The Titan is now known to be the biggest of all beetles.
The Center for Disease Control is warning Tennesseans kissing bugs are in our state and they are potentially deadly.
Insects can be terrifying, and some are even more dangerous than we think. While most of us are familiar with ants and flies, other insects lurking in nature could send shivers down your spine. Have you ever wondered what the biggest insects were? Which of them could potentially harm or even kill? Join us on this special episode as we uncover 20 massive and dangerous insects that are real. Number 20. Atlas beetle. These are some of the largest beetles in the world. Males can grow up to 12 centimeters long and weigh as much as 100 grams, making them some of the longest and heaviest insects on Earth. Male atlas beetles are easily recognized by their large curved horns, which females completely lack. Females have smooth, hornless heads instead. The male's horns are essential tools for battling other males over dominance, territory, or mates. The horns are also helpful during mating, as they allow the male to lift and position the female. Atlas beetles live in the tropical rainforests of Southeast Asia, including countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and Borneo. They prefer humid forested areas with plenty of decaying plant material. As larvae, atlas beetles feed on rotting wood and organic debris, playing an important role in breaking down forest litter and keeping ecosystems healthy. Adult beetles, however, do not eat. Instead, they focus entirely on reproduction, giving them a short lifespan of just a few weeks or months. Despite their intimidating appearance, atlas beetles have defense mechanisms to protect themselves. When threatened, they create a hissing sound by rubbing their body parts together, which acts as a warning. If further provoked, they can bite with their strong mandibles. Number 19. Phobactus charney.
He's an absolutely beautiful specimen. The head is up near the end of my fingers there, and his tail is going off that way.
Also known as the Chan's megastick, the Phobactus chan is one of the largest and rarest insects ever discovered, measuring over 50 centimeters in length. Found in the dense jungles of Sabah, Malaysia, only 3 specimens of this incredible species have ever been recorded, and they are named after Datuk Chanza Lund Chang Chihulian, the entomologist who first studied them. The largest specimen, with a total length of 56.7 centimeters, was discovered in 1989 on Kalimantan Island. However, it wasn't until 2008 that this specimen reached the Natural History Museum in London, where Philip Bragg officially described it as a new species. Despite its discovery decades ago, little is known about Chan's megastick's habits or behavior. What is clear, however, is its extraordinary ability to blend into its surroundings. This master of disguise resembles a twig so perfectly that it's nearly invisible when still, an effective defense against predators. Unlike other insects that rely on toxins or spines for protection, stick insects depend entirely on their camouflage, seamlessly merging with branches and shrubs. Their appearance even adapts to their environment. Those living among leaves often take on a leaf-like form. The Phobactus chan are low-maintenance feeders, thriving on plants like ivy, privet, and lettuce, which makes them popular pets. While most insects thrive on land, there's an incredibly rare species that lives hidden beneath the water's surface. Number 18. Giant water bug.
This is probably the biggest one that I've ever seen. They can actually fly.
These bugs are fierce hunters with a sharp, needle-like mouth that delivers venom to paralyze their prey. Their saliva is packed with enzymes that turn their victims' insides into liquid, making it easy to consume. Their bite is also excruciating for humans, which is why they've earned the nickname toe biters. Surprisingly, these fearsome predators also have a nurturing side. Male giant water bugs are some of the best fathers in the insect world. To attract a mate, males perform a rippling dance by shaking their bodies in the water. If a female is impressed, they mate, and she lays her eggs on his back. The males with the most appealing dances often become the busiest dads, while the less attractive ones might not get any eggs at all. Once the eggs are on his back, the male takes full responsibility for their survival. For weeks, he ferries them to the water's surface to ensure they get enough oxygen. This constant shuttle makes him like an underwater taxi, ensuring the eggs thrive. While at the surface, he uses a tiny snorkel-like structure at the tip of his abdomen to take in air. These bugs also have a clever breathing system. They trap air under their wings, using it like a mini scuba tank to stay underwater for long periods. Despite the exhausting task of carrying eggs, the male stays committed, proving how rare fatherly care is in the insect world. When the eggs are about to hatch, tiny eye spots appear, signaling the time is near. Sometimes the father even shakes his back to help the babies emerge. Once the eggs hatch, the tiny nymphs scurry away quickly. While the male is a dedicated caretaker, he's still a dangerous predator and might eat his offspring if given the chance. As the nymphs grow, their soft bodies harden and darken within hours. Soon they'll be hunting on their own, equipped with the same sharp mouthparts and venom as their father, ready to paralyze and consume their prey. These young hunters are just as formidable as the parent who carried them. Number 17. Giant Weta.
Oh, look they won't bite. No, they're only skin.
New Zealand's remote islands are home to the giant Weta, one of the world's heaviest insects. These unique creatures belong to the Anastostomatidae family and are found almost only in New Zealand.
So this is a Cook Strait giant weta.
Some species, like the Little Barrier Island giant Weta, can weigh as much as 70 grams, similar to the weight of small birds. Their large size makes them one of the biggest insects on Earth. Giant Wetas can grow over 4 inches long. They mainly eat plants, feeding on leaves, flowers, and fruits. Their strong jaws help them chew tough plant material, making them important for their ecosystems by helping with seed spreading and vegetation control. To protect themselves, giant Wetas use their hard exoskeleton and strong hind legs. When threatened, they can kick powerfully or use their spiny legs to scare off attackers. These defenses, along with their ability to blend into their surroundings, have helped them survive in the wild.
Evolutionary forces that allowed birds to run rampant in primeval New Zealand were also acting on the invertebrates.
Giant Weta mating is also unusual. Males attract females by making chirping sounds by rubbing parts of their bodies together. After mating, females lay up to 300 eggs in the soil, ensuring the next generation. In cold seasons, giant Wetas slow their metabolism, almost like hibernating, to survive harsh weather and lack of food. Despite their large and somewhat scary appearance, giant Wetas are completely harmless to humans. Moving on from a giant beetle, the next insect is even bigger. Despite being known for centuries, its life cycle and habits have remained a mystery. Number 16. Titan beetle.
This is a Titan beetle.
This beetle lives in the hot, damp rainforests of the Amazon, spreading across countries like Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, the Guianas, and northern Brazil. Scientists have known about this beetle for over 300 years, ever since Carl Linnaeus, a famous Swedish scientist who created the naming system for plants and animals, described it in 1771. The largest ones ever found measure up to 6.6 inches long, from their jaws to their abdomen. Some experts believe they can grow even bigger, possibly reaching 7 inches. Their wingspan is impressive too, stretching about 9.8 inches. The adult Titan beetle has a flat, almond-shaped body and short thorax. Its head features large eyes and powerful jaws that can cut through pencils or even injure human skin. Their bodies fade from black near the head to reddish-brown near the rear.
The Titan is now known to be the biggest of all beetles.
Males are larger and easier to find, as they are often attracted to bright lights at night. Females are smaller and less understood. What's strange is that no one knows what the larvae of this beetle look like. Some think the larvae live inside wood and feed on fungi, making them hard to identify. Bits of wood found in adult beetles suggest they might eat as larvae, but adults don't eat at all. They only live for about 3 to 4 weeks, focusing entirely on mating. Titan beetles are tough and intimidating. Although they don't eat as adults, their sharp jaws and hissing sounds make them a challenge to handle. They swing their heads and antennae defensively, proving they're not an easy insect to study or capture.
What time it comes out, how warm it is, how strong it is, makes it all worthwhile.
The insects we've mentioned so far are frighteningly huge, but they pale in comparison to those from millions of years ago, creatures so massive they were bigger than some dinosaurs. Number 15. Arthropleura. This was an ancient millipede known for its massive size. Its name comes from Greek and means jointed ribs. The first Arthropleura fossil was discovered in 1854 by German paleontologist Hermann von Meyer. Since then, about 60 findings have been reported in North America, Europe, and the UK. Fossils show Arthropleura could grow up to 8.5 feet long and 1.8 feet wide, making it as long as a car and wide enough to cover a person.
But which is the all-time biggest bug on our planet?
Some researchers believe it could have been even bigger. This giant millipede could also raise its body, reaching up to 6.5 feet tall. Experts estimate it weighed around 110 pounds. Arthropleura's body had at least 30 segments, each with sturdy plates for protection. These segments were covered with tiny nodules, and its rear end, called the telson, was trapezoid-shaped. The millipede shed its exoskeleton as it grew, and these shed parts, called exuviae, make up most of the fossils we have today. Unfortunately, no complete body fossil has been found yet. It's unclear how many legs Arthropleura had. Some believe it had 64 legs if every segment had a pair, while others suggest 32 legs if pairs appeared on alternate segments. Its legs likely had plates underneath that helped with breathing. The fragmented exoskeleton found in Northumberland, measuring 2.5 feet long and 1.8 feet wide, helps researchers estimate the creature's size. No fossilized head has been discovered, but scientists think Arthropleura's head had antennae for sensing its surroundings. Its eyesight was likely poor or non-existent, relying instead on smell and touch. The mouth may have included large jaws or mandibles, but this is still debated. Its diet is also uncertain. Most scientists think Arthropleura was an herbivore, eating plants, spores, and leaves. However, some argue it might have been a predator, hunting small creatures, or an omnivore, eating both plants and animals. Unfortunately, there isn't enough evidence to confirm its eating habits, but there is enough details on the next insect, which is known as the largest moth in the world. Number 14. Thysania agrippina. Its most popular name is the white witch, but it is also called the ghost moth, great grey witch, or great owlet moth. The name white witch originated because medieval scientists couldn't capture it, even with primitive hunting tools. This remarkable moth boasts an incredible wingspan of up to 30 centimeters, making it the largest known moth in the world.
People like me who study butterflies and moths because, of course, it's the biggest species of moth in the world.
Its wings are beautifully patterned. The upper side is pale white with intricate mosaic-like designs, while the underside features darker shades of brown with similar patterns. These muted colors help it blend seamlessly with tree bark, making it nearly invisible to predators. The white witch moth is found across tropical regions of the Americas, from Argentina to Mexico, and occasionally reaches as far north as Colorado in the United States. Despite its impressive size and wide range, scientists know surprisingly little about its life cycle, especially its metamorphosis. The caterpillars of this moth feed on plants in the legume family, particularly acacia and mesquite trees. They are harmless to humans and agriculture, lacking stingers or teeth. Based on related moth species like the black witch and owl moth, the white witch's caterpillars likely prefer woody plants in the Fabaceae family. However, the early stages of its life remain largely undocumented despite its wide distribution. Still on winged insects, a wingspan of 30 centimeters is tiny when compared to this gigantic creature from millions of years ago. Number 13. Meganeura. With a wingspan nearly 2.5 feet wide, sharp mandibles and spiny legs, this giant predator thrived in dense swamps and forests during the late Carboniferous period, approximately 300 million years ago, before vanishing from Earth. Fossils of this prehistoric creature were first uncovered in France in 1880, but it wasn't until 1885 that French paleontologist Charles Brongniart officially named it. The insect's powerful wings allowed it to glide gracefully through the humid air, though it lacked the speed and agility of today's dragonflies. Instead, it relied on slower, bird-like wing movements, which were better suited to the dense, oxygen-rich atmosphere of the time. As a larva, Meganeura was already a fearsome hunter, feeding on fish and aquatic insects in ancient wetlands. Once it reached adulthood, it took to the skies, preying on smaller insects and amphibians like frogs. Its large, highly developed eyes gave it excellent vision to spot prey, while its spiny legs and sharp jaws ensured that once it caught a meal, there was no escape. Only traces of the Meganeura remain in fossils today, but in the modern world, the most majestic of all winged insects is one that was named after royalty. Number 12. Queen Alexandra's birdwing. Famous for its size and beauty, this butterfly holds the title of the largest species in the world, with females boasting an impressive wingspan of 9.8 to 11 inches.
And we've walked for 2 hours straight, we haven't spotted one of those butterflies, and it's because they're very rare.
This butterfly was named after Queen Alexandra, wife of King Edward VII, in recognition of her support for wildlife conservation. It was first discovered in 1906 by Albert Stuart Meek, a naturalist exploring Papua New Guinea's rainforests. Unfortunately, the Queen Alexandra's birdwing is endangered, as listed by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. It lives in a small area of about 100 square kilometers near Popondeta in Papua New Guinea. The butterfly depends on old-growth forests, but its habitat has been severely affected by oil palm plantations and the Mount Lamington eruption in the 1950s. Females are especially unique due to their larger size and rounded wings. They weigh around 12 grams and have creamy bodies with brown wings, highlighted by white chevrons and a bright yellow band on their hindwings. Males, while smaller with a wingspan of 6.3 to 8 inches, are equally striking. Their wings display vibrant blue-green colors with black patterns, and their angular wingtips and slender bodies stand out. This difference between males and females is known as sexual dimorphism, moving from what some might call beautiful creatures to one many find disgusting. The next insect, a massive roach, will leave you shocked at how big they can get. Number 11. Giant burrowing cockroach. Known as the rhinoceros cockroach or litterbug, the giant burrowing cockroach, Macropenesthia rhinoceros, is an insect found in northeastern Australia, particularly in Queensland. It is the heaviest cockroach in the world,
Giant burrowing cockroaches, which are also known as rhinoceros cockroaches and litterbugs,
growing up to 8 centimeters long and weighing about 35 grams. Unlike most cockroaches, this species has no wings. Instead, its strong, armored body is perfectly built for digging. Using its powerful legs, it creates deep burrows in sandy soil, sometimes reaching over a meter underground. These tunnels serve as its home and shelter. The giant burrowing cockroach is active at night, emerging from its burrows to feed on dry leaves and decomposing organic matter. By breaking down this material, it helps recycle nutrients and enrich the soil, making it a key player in its ecosystem. One of the most surprising facts about this insect is its long lifespan, up to 10 years, which is unusual for cockroaches. During this time, they play an important role in maintaining ecological balance. Their life cycle is equally unique. Female cockroaches give birth to live young, carrying the eggs in a special pouch until they hatch. A single female can produce up to 30 nymphs, which stay in the burrow under her care until they are ready to survive on their own. As a defense mechanism, giant burrowing cockroaches can produce a hissing sound by pushing air through tiny holes in their abdomen. This sound helps scare off predators. Despite their large size and tough appearance, they are harmless to humans. They live peacefully in the wild, not infesting homes or spreading diseases, unlike the next insect, which is deadly to both animals and other insects. Number 10. Tarantula hawk. This is a large wasp known for its dramatic hunting methods and vibrant appearance. These insects, which can grow up to 6.5 centimeters long, are famous for preying on tarantulas. Found on every continent except Europe and Antarctica, they play a unique role in nature. Tarantula hawks have striking blue-black bodies and bright orange or rust-colored wings. Their vivid colors serve as a warning to predators about their incredibly painful sting. Equipped with long legs and hooked claws, these wasps are built to overpower their prey. Female tarantula hawks have stingers that can reach up to 12 millimeters in length, delivering one of the most painful stings in the insect world. When hunting, a female wasp stings a tarantula, paralyzing it. She then drags the spider to a burrow, lays a single egg on its body, and seals the burrow. Once the egg hatches, the larva feeds on the still-living spider, avoiding vital organs to keep it alive longer. After weeks of feeding, the larva pupates and eventually emerges as an adult wasp. Adult tarantula hawks don't eat spiders. Instead, they feed on nectar from plants like milkweed and mesquite trees. Males, unlike females, don't hunt. Instead, they perch on tall plants, waiting for females to pass by during mating season. Although their sting is intensely painful, these wasps are surprisingly non-aggressive and sting only when provoked. The pain, while extreme, lasts only a few minutes and doesn't usually require medical attention. Their large size and fearsome sting deter most predators, though roadrunners are one of the few animals bold enough to eat them. The next insect has a strange life cycle, one that experts still struggle to fully understand even today. Number 9. Macrodontia cervicornis. This saber-toothed longhorn beetle is one of the largest beetles in the world, famous for its massive jaws. Its striking mandibles give the beetle a unique appearance and contribute to its impressive size. The longest recorded saber-toothed longhorn beetle reached an astonishing 17.7 centimeters. This size surpasses even the famous Hercules beetle, which measures 17.5 centimeters with its horns. The saber-toothed longhorn beetle spends most of its life as a larva, a stage that can last up to 10 years. During this time, the larvae tunnel through decaying wood, carving galleries over 1 meter long and 10 centimeters wide. In contrast, the adult beetle lives only a few months, focused on reproduction and dispersal. Females lay eggs under the bark of dying or dead softwood trees, where the larvae hatch and continue the cycle. These beetles are native to the rainforests of South America, including regions in Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Brazil, and the Guianas. At first glance, the next insect might seem ordinary, but a closer look reveals how remarkable it truly is. Number 8. Red driver ant. Measuring about ½ an inch in length, these ants are larger than most other ants. Their bodies are expertly divided into 3 main sections: the head, thorax, and abdomen, each playing a crucial role in their survival and efficiency. The head is home to their most remarkable feature, their strong mandibles. These mandibles work like sharp scissors, allowing them to cut, carry, and build with ease. They are also essential for catching food and protecting their colony. One unique thing about driver ants is the difference between males and females. Males, often called sausage flies because of their plump winged bodies, live only to mate and die soon after. Females, however, are wingless, stronger, and built for hard work.
Construction workers enlarge the area, while ground workers shift debris from the main chamber.
They are the backbone of the colony, handling everything from foraging to caring for the young. When hunting, driver ants show incredible coordination. They move in wide columns, guided by scent trails made by scouts. Together, they can take down much larger prey, from insects to small animals, proving the power of teamwork. When it comes to teamwork, the next insect has mastered group attacks so deadly that it's considered one of the most dangerous creatures on the planet. Number 7. Giant hornet. As big as a matchbox, this fearsome predator is also one of the most venomous. Its sting, delivered through a 1/4 inch long stinger, injects a potent mix of enzymes that destroy tissue. What sets it apart from other wasps is a neurotoxin that can shut down the nervous system. For humans, even a single sting can trigger a deadly allergic reaction, leading to anaphylactic shock. Despite living for only 6 months each year, giant hornet colonies are responsible for an average of 40 human deaths annually.
Being unable to cope with high temperatures is a giant hornet's Achilles heel.
These hornets are widespread across Asia, from India to Japan. Like other wasps, they are relentless predators, preying on insects like the praying mantis. A worker hornet, armed with powerful jaws, tears its prey into a mushy paste. However, it doesn't feed on this catch itself. Instead, the hornet brings the meal back to its hive to nourish the colony's ravenous larvae. During summer, giant hornets are in constant search of food to sustain their growing brood. When a scout hornet finds a honeybee hive, it marks the target with a pheromone released from its back legs. This signal summons other hornets to launch a coordinated attack. But their strength lies not in their numbers. Just one hornet can kill over 300 honeybees in a single hour, while humans have nothing to fear from the next insect. Just like the giant hornet, it's an absolute nightmare for smaller creatures. Number 6. Praying mantis. Some species grow as large as 6 inches and dominate the insect world. They are known to hunt surprisingly large animals like birds, lizards, and fish, making them the largest predatory insects. Despite their fearsome reputation, these praying mantises aren't poisonous, and they won't harm humans unless provoked. Their bites might be painful, but they are not deadly. These insects are masters of camouflage. Some look like sticks, leaves, or flowers, helping them hide from both predators and prey. The most common color for mantises is green, but they can also be brown, blending in with their surroundings. Known for being still and patient, they often wait for prey to come close before grabbing it with speed and precision. This behavior has made the mantis a symbol of patience in many cultures. Mantises live for about a year, with their life cycle consisting of 3 stages: egg, nymph, and adult. They grow by shedding their exoskeleton up to 10 times before becoming adults. Most mantises develop wings during their final molt, though some species remain wingless. In the animal world, one well-known fact is that female mantises sometimes eat their mates after mating, but this is not always the case. It happens only when the female is hungry or agitated. Females lay hundreds of eggs in a foam-like case called an ootheca.
But other insects' eggs are not good enough for the praying mantis.
The eggs hatch in 3 to 6 weeks, depending on the species. Though small, praying mantises are known to hunt birds, striking at their heads or throats. Some even chew through the skull to eat the brains. Praying mantises have 5 eyes, 2 large compound eyes to track movement and depth, and 3 smaller eyes that detect light. The flower mantis is a fascinating example of mimicry, resembling an orchid to attract prey. Other species, like the Chinese mantis and the Carolina mantis, have their own unique features, such as distinct body shapes and colors. These insects don't scavenge. They only hunt live prey, ambushing their victims with their raptorial legs. If threatened, they may try to scare off predators by spreading their wings and stretching out their legs. These insects are mainly active during the day, relying on their keen eyesight to hunt, though they are drawn to lights at night. Number 5. Giant prickly stick. The Extatosoma tiaratum, also known as the spiny leaf insect or giant prickly stick insect.
The giant prickly stick insect is native to Australia. They get their name from the tiny prickly spines on their bodies.
Is a large insect native to the rainforests of eastern Australia, particularly in New South Wales and Queensland. It can also be found in parts of South Australia and eastern Victoria. The female of this species is significantly larger than the male, reaching up to 20 centimeters in length. She is covered in thorny spikes, which provide both protection and camouflage in her environment. In contrast, the male is smaller, with long wings that allow him to fly in search of a mate or to escape danger. Though he lacks the prominent spikes of the female, he does have small spines around his face. To defend itself from predators, the insect adopts a scorpion pose, standing on its legs and raising its abdomen. If threatened further, it can use sharp spines to defend itself. The adult insect can also release a sweet toffee-like smell and make a clicking sound to scare off attackers. Males sometimes open their wings suddenly to startle enemies. Camouflage is key to the survival of the spiny leaf insect. When resting, it often curls its body to look like a dead leaf or twig, making it hard for predators to spot. It can also sway gently, mimicking the movement of leaves in the wind, further avoiding detection. The insect's color can vary, with shades of brown, green, yellow, or even white, helping it blend into the foliage. The young nymphs of this species are fast and resemble ants, which helps protect them from predators that may think they are dangerous. As they grow, they start developing adult features, including the spiny body of the female. This insect can reproduce sexually or asexually. If there are no males, females can produce offspring without fertilization, and these will all be females. The female flicks her eggs away, and these need to stay cool to hatch successfully. Interestingly, ants often carry the eggs into their nests, thinking they are food. Although the ants eat the outer layer, the eggs still hatch without any harm. The next insect is one of the largest of its kind. Surprisingly, it can live its entire life without eating a single bite. Number 4. Hercules moth. This is one of the largest moths in the world. It is native to New Guinea and northern Australia. First described by William Henry Miskin in 1877, this remarkable insect is known for its impressive size and unique appearance. With a wingspan of up to 27 centimeters and a wing surface area of 300 square centimeters, the Hercules moth is the largest in Australia. Its wings are golden brown with white markings and feature transparent spots on all 4 sections. While males and females look similar, males can be distinguished by their longer, slender wingtails. The caterpillars of the Hercules moth are just as striking as the adults. They grow up to 12 centimeters long and weigh around 54 grams in their final stage. Their pale blue or green bodies are adorned with red spots along the sides and yellow spines, making them stand out in their rainforest habitats. Interestingly, adult Hercules moths do not eat. They rely entirely on the energy stored from their larval stage to survive. As caterpillars, they feed on the leaves of various rainforest trees, such as Disoxylum mellissimum, Glochidion ferdinandi, and Polycius elegans. This diet sustains them through their short adult lives, during which they focus on reproduction rather than feeding. Number 3. Malaysian giant katydid. The giant Malaysian katydid is a large green insect that can grow up to 6 inches in length. Its long, thin legs, with the hind legs being the longest, and leaf-shaped wings make it well suited for life in the trees. The katydid's wings help it blend into its environment, mimicking the appearance of leaves. As they age, the edges of their wings turn brown, resembling rotting leaves. The amount of brown on their wings increases over time, providing a way to estimate their age. These katydids are known for their loud chirping sound, created by rubbing one wing against another. This noise serves multiple purposes, such as scaring off predators and attracting mates. Their ability to produce such a loud sound is one of their key survival tools. Male and female giant Malaysian katydids are easy to tell apart. Females have a green section at the base of their wings, while males have a brown one. Females also have an ovipositor, a specialized structure used to lay eggs in moss or decaying wood. When they become adults, their bright green color gradually changes, with more brown appearing on their wings as they grow older. Their adult stage lasts for about 6 months. To avoid predators, the katydid relies heavily on its camouflage. Its leaf-like appearance makes it hard to spot, but it also has a unique behavior to stay safe, throwing its droppings far away to prevent predators from tracking it by scent. If camouflage isn't enough, they can use their loud chirping to startle threats and drive them away. The next insect doesn't have camouflage like the giant katydid, but it effortlessly evades threats thanks to its unique body. Number 2. Giant centipede. These are large creatures that thrive in various regions around the world, from tropical rainforests to temperate zones. These centipedes can be as long as a foot, though smaller species exist. Giant centipedes are skilled predators, feeding on a wide range of prey. They typically go after smaller creatures like insects, worms, and spiders, but they've also been seen catching larger prey, such as toads, prawns, and even bats. Some species are so large and agile that they've been found hanging from cave ceilings to snatch flying bats mid-air. Additionally, some giant centipedes are amphibious, meaning they can spend time in both land and water environments. Though they're capable of delivering a painful sting to humans, these centipedes usually only attack when provoked. The venom from a bite feels similar to a sting from a scorpion or wasp and can lead to swelling, difficulty breathing, and high blood pressure. They typically live under rocks, logs, and leaves, where they thrive in moist environments. Despite their intimidating appearance, these creatures are nocturnal and tend to avoid human contact unless accidentally disturbed. As for their life cycle, female giant centipedes lay their eggs, which they protect until the young hatch. The largest species of giant centipedes can live for up to 10 years, though smaller ones generally have shorter lifespans. In the wild, they face threats from predators like coyotes, bobcats, and owls. When threatened, they employ a zigzag running pattern to throw off predators and make a quick escape. Moving from one fearsome creature to another, this next arachnid is known for its deadly venom. Number 1. Redback spider. This spider is related to the black widow, with the main difference being a red stripe on its back. Redbacks are common all across Australia, especially near places where people live.
might be related to the black widows, but today it is a distinct native Australian species.
Only female redbacks create webs, and they are larger and more colourful than the males, who typically stay out of sight. Female redbacks can live for up to 3 years, while the males only live for about 6 months. When it's time to mate, the male must approach the female carefully, as she might mistake him for food. While the redback spider doesn't actively hunt humans, it can be dangerous if someone accidentally disturbs its web. A bite from the female can send a person to the emergency room, as her venom directly affects the nervous system. This venom is strong and can be deadly, although not all bites are fatal. The spider doesn't chase after its food, but instead waits for an insect to get caught in its web. Once trapped, the spider wraps its prey in silk and then bites it, injecting venom. The venom paralyzes the insect, and digestive fluids start to break down its body, allowing the spider to feed. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching.